Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting of April 9, 2012. Mr. Spagna, would you please read the roll?
Allen.
Here.
Dixon. Gibbons.
Here.
Hammond.
Present.
Harrison.
Present.
McLean.
Here.
Mowry.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
Pate.
Here.
8 present.
8 members present. This time I'd like to introduce Boy Scout Troop number 215. Be doing the flag ceremony for this evening's meeting.
Everybody please rise.
Thank you. Okay, at this time I'd like to turn to chair announcements. There was an executive session of council conducted tonight, April 9, 2012. Police personnel matters and legal issues and other personnel matters. At this time, can we turn to the reports of the officials and librarians report?
Good evening. My name is Christine, and I'm the director of your public library. Just wanted to talk about a few programs that we have coming up. Tomorrow, April 10th, is the last day for free tax help. We have AARP, Volunteer Tax Assistance Preparers, here. They are here from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., but I have to tell you, I'm in here at 8 o'clock, and people are waiting already. So if you need your taxes done tomorrow, you should come early. It is National Library Week this week, and in celebration of that annual week, we are providing guided tours of the library. So whether you're new to Bethel Park, whether you're not a library user, or whether you're a regular library user who may not be aware of all the resources that we have, we're offering tours to introduce you to our print and electronic resources and a lot of the other services that we provide, including tax forms if you still haven't filed. Wednesday the 11th at 2 o'clock and also Friday the 13th at 10 a.m. For students in grades 5 or older, we are having a Fear Factor program, which is really popular. This will also be on Friday the 13th. It's at 7 o'clock after the library closes, so you kind of have the run of the library. It's a fun thing to do. The program's not for the faint of heart. Challenges might include holding a bug that you might not want to do, singing in front of a group, braving the dark. So again, that's for students in grades 5 or older. Some fundraising ideas or programs that we have. I just want to remind you once again to save the date for the library's annual gala. It will be held on Friday, May 25th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the community center. Tickets are $25 and are available at the library. And also the library is hosting a Christmas in July daily raffle. So you get one raffle ticket. You have 31 chances to win, one every day of July. The winning number is determined by the Pennsylvania Daily 3-digit number drawn at 7 o'clock. The grand prize, I guess you'd call it, would be on July 25th, hence Christmas in July, and that's $500. But the daily prizes range from $50 to $200, and tickets go on sale actually today. And they're $10 a piece. So if you want any information on any of these programs or services or the other programs and services that we offer, you can visit our website at bethelparklibrary.org. Any comments?
Quick question.
Yes.
How are the fish doing?
The fish are doing really well.
We're going to have to ask you every
The frogs, we did get 2 frogs too. They're very popular. The kids love to look at them, and they're kind of neat. They bob up and down. It's like they're very bizarre. The fish are doing okay. We lost a few on a cold weekend because somebody flipped the breaker, and so the heater went off. So we did lose a few, but that was not malicious. It was natural causes and staff ineffectiveness, I guess. But they're doing well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we turn to the police chief's report and Chief Mackey?
Thank you, Mr. Mowry. Good evening, everyone. The case of the missing fish is still an ongoing police investigation. I don't want Christine to think we forgot about you. Actually, I have a couple of items this evening, but before I get into them, I would like to introduce Representative Matt Smith, no stranger to anyone here. And the reason Mr. Smith is here is we had the opportunity to work on a grant proposal a couple years ago, and this was to provide protective body armor for the police officers of Bethel Park. It took a little bit longer than we expected, but the issue was trying to procure the equipment. As it turned out, we received $9,658, and I'm going to ask Sergeant Duskowski and Officer Mike Dunn if they would step forward. They actually brought along the items that we were able to procure under the grant. It was a Department of Community and Economic Development grant, and with the funds that we received, we were able to purchase 7 of the ballistic vests that Sergeant Duskowski is displaying, and we were also able to procure 3 ballistic shields that Officer Mike Dunn is displaying. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Smith.
Well, I just want to say it's always good to bring some of your tax dollars here to Bethel Park. As Chief Mackey said, this was a grant we started working on back in, I think, late 2008, early 2009. So like a lot of things with state government, it took a little while to work our way through the bureaucracy. But as Chief Mackey said, I'm very happy that it's finally come to fruition with the 7 vests and the 3 shields we were able to secure. And there's really no better use of tax dollars than providing this sort of protective equipment to our law enforcement personnel to make sure that they have the top flight safety material, safety equipment that they need when they're protecting all of us every single day here in Bethel Park. So it was a real honor for me to work with Chief Mackey, work with council, work with the staff here at the municipality to make sure that we were able to find this grant funding for what is such a worthwhile project and what's such a worthwhile cause for us here in the community. So it's an honor for me to be able to provide this equipment and work to obtain a grant to provide this equipment to you guys. Thanks, Chief. Thank you.
I'm just going to ask Sergeant Duskowski to briefly describe the equipment. I know just looking at it probably doesn't tell you a whole lot. And he knows, I also worked with Sergeant Duskowski on what was the best bang for the dollar here. And I'll turn it over to Ron.
Thank you. Again, thank you, Representative. This equipment that we got is very well needed, especially in today with, I'm sure you all know about all the officers getting shot today. This enables us to have at least one of these in each of our cars, and we have 3 cars, one at the station actually, and 2 cars with the ballistic shield. And what this does is if we have a critical incident, officers can put this on. It offers greater protection than what we wear concealed. Protects us from handgun rounds, some rifle rounds. So it does offer a great protection to the officers on the street, and again, very much needed. Thank you, Representative.
Yeah, just the last thing I would like to say is since Representative Smith started to represent our district, he's been a strong supporter of law enforcement. We've had numerous meetings over the years, not only myself as the chief of Bethel Park, but also the chiefs in Castle Shannon, Scott Township, and Mount Lebanon. And Matt's always been there for us. And once again, every man and woman on the police department sincerely appreciates your efforts. Thank you. Thank you. Now, the couple of items I had for this evening. I mentioned last couple meetings about the Drug Enforcement Administration Drug Take-Back Program. Once again, and this will be the last chance I get to remind everybody, Saturday, April 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can get rid of your unused, unwanted, expired medications in pill form only. No liquids and no needles. The two drop-off points are at the Bethel Park Community Center and the Highmark Direct Building at 1175 North Highland Road. We have participated in this program for the last couple of years. I believe this is our fourth time that we've done this. It's been a hugely successful program. And again, if you have those unwanted expired medications, please bring them in, and the Drug Enforcement Administration makes sure that they get disposed of in a safe manner. A couple weeks ago, we had our annual Police Pals Pittsburgh Steelers basketball game. This was the first time the event was held at the new high school auditorium. It was a huge, huge success. I'd like to thank Officer Tom Regatti for coordinating the event, and also the many sponsors that we had for the event, because they're the ones that made it all possible. A new wrinkle this year was a police department versus fire department basketball game. And of course, I'm going to brag again because we have the fire department sitting here. We're 2-0 this year, and I know they're going to come back next year. We beat them in softball and beat them in basketball, and I don't know what the next challenge is going to be. I see Bob whispering here, so we'll find out. But it was a great event, and just to have a chance to get together with the fire department or the EMS here in Bethel, it's a terrific thing. We raised enough money at the basketball game this year to provide 11 scholarships for high school kids that are going to go on and hopefully pursue a career in law enforcement. When we started this about 10 years ago, we were doing 1 scholarship, and we thought it was a big deal when we bumped it up to 2, and it was. But this year, because of everyone's generosity, we're going to provide 11 scholarships. Crime Watch. I've been talking about Crime Watch for a little bit over a year. We're trying to recruit members. In that short period of time, we have over 800 residents signed up in Crime Watch. And just to let you know how well Crime Watch works, we've been tracking statistics. We ask our Crime Watch captains, if you report a crime or you report something suspicious to the police department, to please call, let us know, follow up, and we will follow up with you. To date, we've had 17 reported incidents from our Crime Watch members. Several of those incidents have resulted in criminal arrests. So Crime Watch does work. We're proof positive here in Bethel Park that it works, and it works very well. We will take on as many members as we possibly can. So if anyone is interested in signing up for Crime Watch, please contact us at the police department. You can go online to the website and sign up, and we would be more than happy to have you join us. And my final item is, there have been several vehicle code upgrades in the last few months, and they should be mentioned. I'm not going to bore you by reading all of the particulars. Probably the biggest one is the texting ban that went into effect. And I know a lot of people think it probably just deals with driving down the road texting on your cell phone, but it also includes laptop computers, PDAs, such as your iPads, iPhones, iPods, Razors, Droids, Blackberries, whatever you have. It is a primary offense, and you can be pulled over for that violation. So please do not text or read your text while you're driving. Everyone knows that there's a seatbelt law in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It was not always a primary offense. However, it is for drivers and occupants who are under the age of 18. so police officers can pull you over. It is a primary offense, so we'd ask you to please become familiar with the seatbelt laws. A new law, and it's an appropriate time of the year, you'll see a lot of bicycles out on the roadway at this time of the year. There's a new law that requires the motoring public to give a sufficient amount of space to bicyclists out on the road. And basically they're saying it's 4 feet. So you have to give them 4 feet, pass to the left, obviously, and you're not allowed to make a right turn in front of a bicycle that's traveling in the same direction. So we wanted to bring that. And finally, this is for the parents out there. You have children with junior driver's licenses. If you have a son or daughter under a junior driver's license, they're not permitted to have more than one other person in the car that's under the age of 18 if they're not a family member. So it's not free reign for teenagers with a junior driver's license to go out and pick up all their friends and just go out cruising around. It's a violation, and I can tell you as of last week we've already had a violation that involved somebody under a permit who was traveling around with 3 or 4 of his buddies, and needless to say, a lot of times that doesn't work out too well. So please become familiar with the new changes in the vehicle code, and if anybody has any questions concerning those, you can stop any one of our police officers out there on patrol or give us a call at the station, and we'll be more than glad to either explain it to you or give you the documentation. And that is my report for this evening. Yes, sir.
Would you, you put the word primary adjective in front of offense. Would you tell us what does primary offense mean?
Well, I used the example of the seatbelt law. In the past, not wearing a seatbelt was not a primary offense, which means a police officer could not pull you over for not wearing a seatbelt. If he pulled you over, say, for going through a stop sign and also saw that you did not have a seatbelt on, he could write a citation for the secondary offense of not wearing a seatbelt, but it is now a primary offense. So you can be pulled over for not wearing the seatbelt.
I'd like to suggest if you're in need of the fire department and you call in, you better not tell them who it's for. Just give them your address.
Because I keep rubbing it in?
I'm sure they won't take that into effect, but just a little word of advice.
Well, I guess with that, then I can turn the mic over to my very good friend, Chief Gerber from the fire department.
Thanks, Chief. I'm going to ask you to stay up here real quick, Chief. Normally, I don't get to come up here anymore. I became chief back in December. My name's Dave Gerber. But we got a couple special awards we'd like to give away this year. So if I could ask the line officers from the fire department, Officer Dunn, Sergeant Tuskoski, if you could come up here also, please. Try and take care of this as quickly as we can for you.
You guys can stand on this side.
Yeah.
Chief doesn't bite.
All right. What we're asking, or I asked the guys to come up here for this evening, we don't get to do this very often, which is kind of a good thing, so to speak, but we're going to give away a Gallantry Award to one of our fire officers and a couple other awards here real quick to the police officers that are up here. Back in January, we had a carbon monoxide incident that we were dispatched to. That's a normal everyday thing for us. While en route, we got information there's possibly somebody that was in the house and we weren't able to make contact with. Upon arrival of the police with Sergeant Tuskoski and Officer Dunn and Captain Usselman, they tried to make contact with a person in the house. They couldn't. Police officer Dunn and Sergeant Tuskoski proceeded to force entry into the house. Once they forced entry into the house, Captain Usselman went in with them. All of our line officers carry a CO detector on them to let them know if there is a high level of carbon monoxide if we go into anywhere. Upon their entry, his detector went off. telling him that there was a dangerous level of carbon monoxide in there. They proceeded to search in through the house. They found a victim that was unconscious. When I pulled up, they were pulling him out of the garage into the driveway. The three gentlemen here proceeded to give first aid to the unconscious victim. Before the medics got there, he proceeded to start coming back around. We handed the patient over to the medics. They took him to the hospital, and luckily everything came out good and safe. So with that, we have a couple of words here we'd like to give to the gentleman for that. Give the police here theirs first. Well, you want to pass them out? What it is, it says it's an award for gallantry. It says the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company would like to recognize Officer Mike Dunn, Sergeant Ron Duskowski, and Captain Rob Usselman for gallantly rescuing a person from a hazardous carbon monoxide condition on January 14, 2012. The Officer Dunn, Sergeant Duskowski, and Captain Usselman showed great courage with his unselfish actions and swift response to help protect the citizens of the municipality of Bethel Park. So with that, Officer Dunn, we thank you very much. We appreciate it. Sergeant Duskowski, thank you very much. And Captain Usselman. And with that, Captain Usselman from the fire department's end of it for his uniform also gets the Medal of Honor from the fire department and a ribbon and all that kind of happiness that goes on his uniform and stuff. So with that, there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you. As I said, with that come out to a happy ending. Carbon monoxide isn't something to mess with. You should always have detectors in your home. If they go off, we have no problem with you calling 833-2000, gives you the police desk. They will have us come out. We'll check with our meters, which, in fact, we just got a grant for $12,000 from the state to buy new meters and stuff also. So with that, don't ever think that you're paying. I know people always worry about that. We normally come in the smaller vehicles, so we don't have a big fire truck in front of your house and stuff. Unless we would need it, and then obviously we would bring whatever we need for fans out and stuff. So, other than that, gentlemen, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Thank you. With that, I'll give you the fire report for the month of March. The month of March, the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company ran 34 fire calls. We had 2 calls that were canceled en route, 2 gas leaks, 1 electrical problem, 1 vehicle fire, 5 outside mulch fires, 1 smoke investigation, 8 structural type fires, and 14 false alarms for the month of January. Other than that, the last thing, you should have gotten your first notice for our yearly fund drive. Once again, we tell you this all the time. If you want to donate, you can send the letter back that we got sent you. This year, with your letter, we also gave a form you can fill out. I've mentioned it up here in the past. Last year, we spent $35,000 roundabouts to put computers into about half of our pieces of equipment down at the fire hall. In those computers, we have GPS in them. In each individual address that pays taxes and so forth in the municipality. We can always add others in if there's something that we don't have in there. But with that, with your donation letter, we asked and gave you a form to fill out. You fill it out, it has some basic questions about how many people live in your house, what you need. Do you have any pool? Do you have any chemicals or ammunition that you reload that we should know about in case your house would catch on fire? If you have anybody that's handicapped or any special needs or anything, you fill that form out, send that back with your donation letter, or even if you can't donate, we understand, send that back. That will be put in our computer system, so before we even arrive on scene, we'll know what we're coming up against if you have any special needs or anything like that with your house. So With that, once again, you can send a donation back in the mail to us. You can also donate online. I know we were having a problem, but I believe it is fixed now with the online donations. You go online, BethelParkBFC.com. You can go to the section that says donate, and you can donate right off your online with your credit card and so forth. So, other than that, we run solely on your donations, so we appreciate everything anything we can get to help run the fire department. We appreciate it. So, with that, we've taken up enough of your time, I believe. Any questions, comments, problems?
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Harrison.
You've already covered the item, but I promised when we had the meeting in the fire company a few months ago that each month I would remind people
Yes.
about contributions. And it's very timely now because the letters have been sent out.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to remind you again that the fire company is a volunteer organization, and they rely on the citizens, the businesses, and that type of thing to make donations so they can successfully operate. So I encourage you to respond to that solicitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And along with Mr. Harrison, we will take any donation you can get. Every dollar helps, believe me. Like I says, our annual budget down the streets is around $500,000, and that's coming all off of your donations. So anything you can donate, whether it's $1, $5, $100, we're happy with all of that. So anything you can give, we greatly appreciate it. Anything else?
That is all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If we can turn to the mayor's report, and Mayor Morton.
Thank you, sir. I have about 3 or 4 items tonight, is all, Mr. Chairman, so we'll do this quickly as we can. Our Director of Recreation, Chuck Stover, has got another appointment, so I want to get him up here first tonight. If he'll come up right now, we'll let us do our thing. You're going to help too? Yes, sir. Good. Last month, it seems that the Bethel Park Recreation NAMS Jam program, which is a program offered to 5th and 6th graders, residents of Bethel Park, won the Excellence in Programming Award in the Children and Youth category of the Pennsylvania Recreation and Park Society. That's a state association for parks and recreation departments, professionals, and for excellence in programming. A certificate of distinction was awarded at the annual banquet held on March 20th. And at this point in time, I would like our director, Chuck Stover, to talk about that a little bit, if he would.
I got the notes. NAM's Jam is held at, NAM comes from Neil Armstrong Middle School. We do a fun night out, a supervised night for the 5th and 6th graders at Neil Armstrong. We rotate every month. One month will be karaoke and bingo. We'll do inflatable rides. We try to keep it fresh. We do 5 NAM's Jams a year. It's from 7 to 9 on Friday nights. Michelle Pilot, our youth coordinator, coordinates it. She gets about 25 to 30 volunteers each month, or 5 times a year, to help coordinate the whole NAM's Jam. Her and Kathy administrate the whole thing. And that's how we do NAM's Jams. And I'm really proud that we won this award. It comes from our peers, so it's a great honor for the department. And I'd like to thank Municipal Council, the school board for letting us use their facilities, and all the support we get from the administration and everybody sitting at that table. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's always good to see our departments win these types of things. It shows that we're at least trying. The libraries get so many of them, they don't know what to do with them. Secondly, let's do our birthdays so we don't forget that. No, secondly, actually, let's welcome Troop 215 Scouts and leaders here tonight. Thank you, fellas, for coming out again tonight, and I hope we see some of your troop over the next couple of months as well. Our birthdays for this year, those of you who don't know, we recognize people who are 90 years old and older. And on their month of birth, we read their names and give their ages. Virginia Kotow, happy birthday to Virginia. She's 93 this year. Eva Humrick is 94, as is Ethel Miller and Lawrence Finley. Both of them are 84 years old this year. Robert O'Brien turned 95. Helen Armony, 96. Stanley Broski, 97. These are actual. It sounds like I'm counting, doesn't it? Elsie Fleming is 98, Mary Ripprick is 99, and Pauline Finley, God love her, is 100 years old this year. So, happy birthday to all those folks. Thank you very much. Last thing I have is an announcement that I received from someone. I'm not sure if it came in the mail. I think it did. Came to me in the mail. And be reminded, and I had to be reminded when I suddenly realized that this is coming upon us, that this coming Saturday is Flag Retirement Day for this, for disposing of used flags. And it's being sponsored this year by Cub Scouts of Pack 225 and the Boy Scouts of Troop 225. And they're asking that we would join them to honor the United States flag for its service. Everyone is welcome. Flags that are worn, ripped, faded, dirty, or out of date will be accepted for retirement. Veterans and active members from all branches of the United States Armed Forces will be our special guests. And for those of you who don't know, we have a special place where we burn these flags over in South Park. And our county representative, Vince Gascab, was quite active in getting this place put together. And if you've not been there, you simply go to the end of the drive where you hit Brownsville Road, turn left, and almost immediately turn right, and you'll find a real nice little park there that's been set up specifically to do this. So that's going to be at noon this coming Saturday. Anybody who wants to witness this or write an article about it, that's when you're going to go there and do it. April 7th, 2012. And I welcome you too. I forgot to mention you, Representative Smith. Thank you for coming tonight. And I believe that's all we have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a special guest in the House, County Councilman Gascab. I'm sure he's never short on words. If he'd like to come up and speak with us.
I didn't even see him sitting there, and I'm talking about him. I'm glad I didn't say what I really wanted to say.
He's second only to the Easter Bunny.
We have all night. Don't go anywhere. I mean, actually, Matt's up here to make sure I keep it quick tonight, so has a timer on me. But hello, Council and Mayor Morton. Just a couple of things I wanted to give an update on, in particular the assessments. About a month ago, we had a town hall meeting at the New Bethel Park High School. I want to thank the school administration as well as council and the mayor. Everybody played an active role in putting on a really informative and educational forum that had about 500 residents, not all from Bethel Park, but from my council district. And I thought Allegheny County put on a really good forum, if you will, or education on what to do, what the options are, what informal appeals are, and what formal appeals are. Right now, the formal appeal deadline has passed. Pretty much we all know what we're in for as far as it's a court-ordered assessment. But my office is still available to help out with regard to any information you may need on your appeal. I also want to thank council for passing the resolution that you did. You unanimously, I believe, passed a moratorium to ask the state to consider imposing a 3-year freeze on the assessment statewide. Obviously would apply to our county. I'll let Matt describe the law that the House did pass. It is a monumental achievement, but Allegheny County has been working very closely with Matt, really in a bipartisan effort for Mr. Fitzgerald and Governor Corbett too. So Matt, if you could kind of let us know what's going on there.
Sure, Vince. Thank you. And I neglected to mention this earlier. We did pass in the State House unanimously. It was supported unanimously by Republicans and Democrats alike. Our other state representative, John Marr, enthusiastically supported it, and we've been working with Councilman Gascab, County Executive Fitzgerald on imposing a moratorium on any court-ordered reassessment until December 31st, 2013. So it would apply to this reassessment we're currently undergoing right now in Allegheny County, and the purpose of the law, or the change, the proposed change, which now goes on to the state Senate, is to allow the state to fix the current reassessment system. As we saw from the assessment notices that everyone received, this system right now is broken, it's flawed, it needs to be fixed, and we need to fix it at the state level. So what this would do is impose a moratorium. It would stop the court-ordered reassessment in Allegheny County until December 31st, 2013. And as I said, it passed unanimously in the State House last week. It now moves on to the state Senate, where Vince and I have both received very positive feedback that the state Senate will take it up and will act on it without delay. And we know that Governor Corbett has pledged his support as well. He's been working very hard on this issue to make sure that Allegheny County taxpayers and Bethel Park taxpayers are not singled out among the 67 counties in Pennsylvania. So I was very happy to vote for that, enthusiastically support it, and certainly wish that the state Senate and want them to take it up as soon as possible.
And this is really big news. It's stunning to me because I didn't think we'd be able to get this far. So I want to thank Matt for his leadership and for pushing us forward. But there is a chance that the assessments that we know right now that's going on might be able to be frozen or stopped. And basically, I think the way the legislation would work is a county could voluntarily opt in. So if there's other counties, you might have heard the other state reps or the other state senators may not have this issue. This legislation kind of takes that off the table and allows each county to decide. So smartly written, so I appreciate that. So we'll keep you up to date on that particular issue. I got to talk about construction. Okay, everybody wants to see the roads get paved. The last year we were able to pave Bethel Church Road, and it really needed it. So I put Brightwood Road on the agenda for this year, and guess what? Brightwood Road's getting paved. And at the same time, Baptist and Broughton will still be going on. So I just got this communication from the Allegheny County Public Works. Brightwood Road will be a mill and pave project that will occur in midsummer. It will be daytime hours. They will operate one lane of traffic. There will be no detour. They don't see any disruptions because there's no drainage or sewage work being done. The milling will be done in advance of the paving, and within 2 to 3 days the paving will take place. So I know it isn't great to have two big projects going on at the same time, but Brightwood Road does need repaved. There's a lot of utility work that happened over the last year, and it just behooves us to try to get that road paved. Additionally, the Port Authority is working on a retaining wall about a half a mile or a quarter mile from where I'm standing right now. That's also being done right now. So just a lot going on. Hopefully the long-term prognosis will be better for the Bethel Park residents. And then lastly, Clifton mentioned the U.S. flag retirement ceremony. I'm glad that the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts were able to use that because it's just a great facility. It's actually, I think, the only kind in the country, so we're very proud of it. It honorably disposes of our flags in the proper manner, but also allows veterans and current active service personnel to take part in a ceremony we do on Flag Day. So I want to make sure I'm letting the public know and inviting everybody, and Matt's been there, Cliff's been there. On June 14th, Flag Day, we have a great show Allegheny County puts on. We have hundreds of people that come out. Everybody gets involved in it, and hope to see you there this year as well. Any other, Matt?
I just have one other update. One of the questions I'm always asked at a town hall meeting, I just want to give this update, is last week the State House passed historic legislation to cut the size of the General Assembly. It would cut the size of the House from 203 to 153, and would cut the size of the State Senate from 50 members to 38 members. So just wanted to make sure I passed that along. I'm asked about that all the time. We were finally able to get it through in a bipartisan manner. I enthusiastically supported it last week. It now moves on to the State Senate, where I'm hopeful they'll take it up as soon as possible. So wanted to make sure I provided that update too.
Thank you very much.
May I ask you a question? What time is the June 14th flag ceremony? They used to have beautiful ceremonies in the evening, and last year it was during the day, and it wasn't so nice. Personal opinion.
The question is, what time will the ceremony be, the U.S. flag retirement ceremony? You're right, they've been day and night. I'm not sure. A lot of it is when we could get the personnel there. The reason why we did it in the daytime last year, from my understanding, was it allowed more children to be involved. Children are involved at baseball, softball, different things during the evening in the summer, so this allowed them to have more of a kid's flair. So hopefully you'll like it this year if it's in the afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can you let us know when the time is announced?
I will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, can we turn to the approval of the minutes, and Mr. Allen?
I move that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of March 9th, 2012.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. We approve the regular council meeting minutes of March 9th, 2012. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Tate?
Yeah.
Allen?
Yes.
8-0.
Motion passes 8-0. This time I'd like to turn to the approval of the bills and payrolls, and Mr. Allen.
I move that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality for bill list number 040912 in the amount of $1,009,815.60.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 040912 in the amount of $1,009,815.60. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Hannah.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pape.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Givens.
Yes.
8-0.
Motion passes 8-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to resident comments for non-agenda items. If you'd like to come up, state your name and address. We have a 3-minute limit. At the end of 2 minutes, the manager will signify, and we'll ask you can conclude your comments.
I don't walk fast, guys. Hold down counting 3 minutes. But here's one for each of you up here. Some of them you've got them before. I think 3 or 4 of you didn't. Would you mind passing them down? I'd appreciate it. And I know you didn't get one, Timmy.
Can you go to the microphone, please? Thank you.
Okay. My name is Dino Bello, and I live at 3339 Alderton Drive, Bethel Park. And I'm here to talk about the tax increase that was voted in. I didn't like it from the beginning, and I don't really like it now, and I'm going to tell you why in a nutshell. When you talk to people, and I've done this walking even with this cane, and calling them, and you have these seniors cry because they are going to lose their house. They are scared to death. Now, some of you, and I don't want to mention it here, went out and scared the devil out of these people. And that was very cruel. It wasn't very kind. We don't need that. And I just wanted to say that you can fool some of the people all the time, all the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. These people are scared. Now, you finally did get your raise that you guys have been panting for, and it'll produce, I guess, about $450,000. And I understand that a couple of you have told me, gee whiz, we need $35,000. You guys don't come up with any ideas. You've had ideas, and I can give you one right now. Take the same pay that the school board people take. And you know what that is? It's pro bono, just like me. I've done a lot of these appeals for these people pro bono. I feel sorry for these people. They need help, guys. Back off, give them a chance. If you do that, then you would be stand-up people. Let's be stand-up people. I wrote, I think, a pretty good letter. I have copies of it over here. And I tried to give us a way to honorably save face, do this honorably. And what I'm saying is, God bless America, God bless Bethel Park, and I mean that with all my heart. Back off, people. Give these seniors a break. Don't let them lose their house. That is terrible. And you are the only people that can help them. Please do it. I beg you. I'm not asking you, I'm begging you. Don't let these seniors. You want to save Bethel Park? You ain't going to save it. I'm sorry about the grammar, by scaring our best citizens, our seniors, and the young married, raising families. They need your help. Please think it over. Don't do this to them. I beg you. I beg you. I beg you. And I say again, God bless America. God bless Bethel Park. Please consider it, guys.
Thank you. Are there any other residents that would like to speak? Hearing none, can we turn to the agenda? I'm sorry. If you'd like to come up and state your name and address. Sure.
Hello, I'm Stephen Condre, and I'm here with Boy Scout Troop 215, and I'm here about my Eagle project, the Yellow Dot program. I guess I was supposed to have a spot, but I didn't get here in time. But The Yellow Dot program is a public safety program that has not yet been implemented in this state, and it is to help automobile accident victims in that you put a sticker on the back windshield of your car, and the pamphlet that I handed to them goes in your glove compartment. And so when you're in an accident, when first responders get there and they see the sticker, they can look in the glove compartment for your emergency information and better treat you on spot if you have some kind of like condition or ailment. And so this project is going to happen. I'm just still in the fundraising process, and I'm here saying that I still need funds. I'm getting there, but I need some help. So I mean, that's about it. Any questions?
If somebody would like to donate, where should we call or?
My home phone is 412-835-4163. Let's see here. Yeah, my cell phone number is 412-818-4085. And
Okay.
so,
Mr. Maury?
Mr. McLean.
I can make a suggestion that you might want to consider. I don't know if you've thought about going to the Bethel Park Community Foundation.
I have contacted them.
Okay.
I'm waiting to hear back.
I was going to suggest that you do that. If you prepare an application and submit it, I'm a former member of the foundation. I can't guarantee you'll get the grant. But this is the kind of civic-wide project that they will sometimes consider, and you may be able to get at least some support that way. It would probably be worth your effort to try it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, we would, I'd ask the manager if he can make copies of that. We'll pass it out to council. We'll make it available at the municipal offices and in the library also.
Thank you.
Mr. Murray.
Mr. Harrison.
I'll just mention this, McLean. I also suggested he ought to contact the elected state officials. They have walking around money. I sort of object to the concept, but they do have it.
Sure.
And I just wanted to embellish it a little bit. I've been talking to this young fellow. This is an Eagle Scout project. Each scout that wants to become an Eagle has to develop a project, manage it, get it done. And the concept would be that it's sort of a test case. That is, it wouldn't cover the entire municipality. It would cover a subset of the municipality to see how it works, how people accept it. And if it works out, that it, according to the research he's done in other areas, it just sort of ballooned. People thought it was such a good idea. So as he said, what happens is when the emergency people show up, they see the yellow dot there, they'll know in the glove compartment there's information that may be useful to them, just like the vial of life that we have in our freezer or wherever we put it. So,
Mr. Chairman, have you finished, Mr.
well,
Harrison?
I was just going to say that I have discussed it with Nora. She thinks it would be helpful to the emergency people. That is, I explained to her that we're not asking her to directly get involved, but the fact that she would indicate that she thought it would be a useful program would be useful to the Scout. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mary.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Harrison 100% on that. And I owe a little apology, I think, to Steve for, not Steve, is it?
Yes, Steve.
Yes, Steve Patrick, for not realizing you were here, Steve, I'm sorry. And he and I have exchanged words a couple of times. He wrote me a real nice letter explaining this program. I think it's a great one for a Scout to be doing, and even a greater one for the people that are going to benefit from it. So we thank you for that, Stephen, and we'll continue to work with you however we can.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. O'Brien.
Steve, you might want to contact Dave Cable for a small commercial. You could follow the meeting or be a part of the local access television. It's a great way to get your idea out, great way to get your phone number out, and a great way for people to have the opportunity to donate to your project.
Thank you.
Mr. Murray,
Mr. Harrison.
the only other thing I'll mention is the even the pilot program he's talking about is not inexpensive. So if you folks felt that you could dig down your pocket a little bit, it'd be appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and we'll see what we can do to help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other residents that would like to speak? Okay, hearing none, if we can turn to the agenda, in general, policy and finance, and Mr. Hanna, we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. First item is approval for retirement
I move that we approve a drop pension retirement election of Police Lieutenant David E. Rogan with the effective date of April 1st, 2012, in accordance with Ordinance 0810-09.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the drop pension retirement election of Police Lieutenant David E. Rogan with an effective date of April 1st, 2012, in accordance with Ordinance 08-10-09. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Mowry.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pape.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Hannon.
And the next item is an ordinance authorizing and directing the incurrence of lease rental debt. I move that we approve an ordinance authorizing and directing the incurrence of lease rental debt of the municipality in an amount not to exceed $11.5 million by guaranteeing an estimated principal amount not to exceed $11.5 million to be issued by the Bethel Park Municipal Authority in order to provide funds to advance refund $8,595,000 of the total outstanding amounts of the $14,455,000 of the authority's guaranteed sewer revenue bonds series of 2004.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the ordinance authorizing and directing the incurrence of lease rental debt of the municipality in the amount not to exceed $11,500,000 by guaranteeing the estimated principal amount not to exceed $11,500,000 to be issued by the Bethel Park Municipal Authority in order to approve funds to advance refund $8,595,000 of the total outstanding amount of $14,455,000 of the authority's general sewer revenue bonds series 2004. In summary, we had talked about this a few months ago. We're looking to refinance a bond issue that we did on behalf of the authority. Mr. McCarthy is here from the agency. It's going to be handling if I'd like to say a few words or if council has any questions. Hearing none.
Mr. Murray, I had asked that either somebody just say a few words to the public when you talk about $11,500,000. That's not pocket change, and I think it'd be nice if he could just give maybe sort of a simple overview of what this is all about.
Thank you. My name is Chip McCarthy. I'm from Piper Jaffray and Company, and we are the bond underwriters for the municipality and the authority. What we're here tonight is allowing the authority to take advantage of an opportunity of interest rate reduction in the marketplace by advance refunding a portion of their outstanding 2004 bond issue to achieve a net present value savings acceptable to the municipality and the authority. I just want to point out one thing, Mr. Chairman, that $8,595,000 may fluctuate a bit depending on market conditions if we can refund a little bit more or a little bit less, but we'd still achieve your target savings.
Okay, so we are not extending the life of the bond. We're just basically potentially reducing the interest rate. We're going to receive cash.
Cash at closing.
At closing, and that'll be used for the municipal authority to fund some either existing or additional projects.
That's exactly right. We're not extending the life of the loan, nor are we increasing the life of the loan.
We're taking advantage of the market conditions.
Exactly.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion?
Mr. Murray.
Mr. Hannon.
For the general person out there, we're basically refinancing a mortgage to get a better rate, just like you do when you refinance your house, except we're doing it with bonds. So this basically we're saving the municipality money. That money is going to be used, poured back into the sewer system, which these are sewer revenue bonds to start with. So for the average person out there, that's sort of what this does.
Thank you very much. Is there any other discussion? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
McLean.
Yes.
Mowry.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pape.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Thank you, Mr. McCarthy. And Mr. Gerhold, our legal counsel on the bond issue. Thank you for coming this evening. The municipal authority took action, a similar action tonight, and I will, for the record, note Bill Rule, a member of the authority, stuck his head in the door, and for the record, he did have his slippers on, as he often does when he's out this late at night. And I'm sure when I get home, I'll have a message from Mr. Rule. Okay, are there any, Mr. Hannon, are there any additional items?
We have no further items on our general policy and finance, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Hannon. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to planning and zoning and Mr. Allen?
We have no items under planning and zoning this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. If I could ask Mr. Duke maybe to give an update of the Broughton Baptist intersection. I believe Mr. Gasgab acknowledged tonight that any traffic associated with that was his fault.
Well, as you know, the Baptist Broughton project is well underway. The construction started earlier this month or last month. The project is to take up to 2 years, maybe even 3, depending on the construction season. Broughton Road has one-way traffic. Baptist Road portion from Paxton to Broughton is totally shut down. That may be reopened later in the fall. But as part of that, what we're doing with the municipality is council recognized with the past activities with the Baptist Road Bridge being closed down that there is the possibility and the potential and the likelihood of cut-through traffic through the area. So council directed Trans Associates to work with PennDOT to look at possible additional road signage and restrictions in order to try and keep the traffic cut through to a minimum. Particularly, we're looking at Locust Road restrictions on that, and also Jordan Street. Trans has been working with staff, also the traffic division from ARD have been working quite a bit, developing different plans, presenting it to PennDOT, and they have been back and forth, and we have not yet received official approval for controlling the traffic through off of Broughton Road. Whenever we do receive the approval, we will be starting to implement that as council has directed us to start to do that, and that could occur sometime soon. But as far as Broughton Road and Baptist Road, the work is progressing, and it's going to be a while yet.
2 years. Okay, are there any other discussion from council? Hearing none, we turn to health, safety, and welfare, and Mr. McLean.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have no items on the agenda for health, safety, and welfare this evening. I do, however, have a couple of additional items.
Mr. McLean?
One, I just wanted to make reference to the fact that the spring leaf collection is going to be coming up in the week of May 14th to the 18th. We do it for 1 week in the spring. We do it for about 6 weeks in the fall, but the spring leaf collection is coming up, and same rules. You cannot use plastic bags. You have to go get one of the acceptable receptacles for the leaves in order to have them picked up. Secondly, also on April 21st at South Park, there will be an e-waste collection for anyone who's looking to get rid of or discard any of their e-related items such as televisions or mice and keyboards or anything computer related. They will take those. Many of those are taken free of charge. For other things like batteries and things such as that, there is a small charge, but that'll be in South Park at the VIP parking lot on Saturday, April 21st, and that's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then finally, I just wanted to make special recognition of the Bethel Park varsity ice hockey team. As some of you may know, you may have heard about the team early in the year. They kind of got out to a rough start and were 3-7 at one point in their schedule, but closed the season with 12 wins in a row and actually won the Penguin Cup, which is the award that is given to the best Western Pennsylvania hockey team. So I just wanted to recognize that. The team did make a valiant effort and lost in the state championship to LaSalle from Philadelphia, but they had an outstanding season, so I wanted to recognize Jim McVeigh and his squad on a great season.
Thank you very much, Mr. McLean.
No further items.
Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Public Works and Maintenance and Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Myron. First item is West Library Avenue Retaining Wall Rehabilitation. I move that we award the West Library Avenue Retaining Wall Rehabilitation contract to Rhino Construction for the low bid of $11,450 in accordance with the Municipal Engineers Correspondence dated March 21st, 2012.
Second.
There's a motion and second we award the West Library Avenue retaining wall rehabilitation contract to Rhino Construction for a low bid $11,450 in accordance with municipal engineers correspondence dated March 21st, 2012. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pape. Allen.
Yes.
Givens.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
8-0.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. O'Brien.
Letter B, West Library Avenue retaining wall railing replacement. I move that we award West Library Avenue retaining wall railing replacement contract to Allegheny Fence Construction Company, Incorporated, for the low bid of $10,478 in accordance with the municipal engineer's correspondence dated March 21st, 2012.
Second.
There's a motion and second we award the West Library Avenue retaining wall railing replacement contract to Allegheny Fence Construction Company, Inc. for a low bid of $10,478 in accordance with municipal engineer's correspondence dated March 21st, 2012. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pape. Pape.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Givens.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes. Motion passes 8-0. Mr. O'Brien.
The 2012 road program, I move that we award the 2012 road program contract to Morgan Excavating in the amount of $1,025,296.60 in accordance with the municipal engineer's correspondence dated April 4th, 2012.
Second.
There's a motion and second we award the 2012 road program contract to Morgan Excavating in the amount of $1,025,296.60 in accordance with the municipal engineer's correspondence dated April 4th, 2012. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Pape.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Givens.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. O'Brien.
No other items. I just have a few comment. I'd like to thank Jean for her wonderful work on the road program. I know it can be very difficult and time-consuming. We do appreciate it. We do notice it, and thank you, especially in these difficult times. And also, too, I'd like to recognize Chuck Stover. He got an award for our recreation department. Chuck, if you had any time to just sit down and talk with him, he just really loves what he does. He has such a passion for recreation. He has really just embraced this community and the people around it, and I just want to let him know that, this council does notice the effort that he puts forward. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. Any other discussion?
Move
Motion to
we
adjourn?
adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.